gon' be. Better run up the cash and love to spend. Made a killing and did it again. But the intent. I'm litty. I know that you tryna go be. Better run up the cash and love to spend. Made a killing and did it again. But the intent, no, I'm down to win. I can't feel bad about it. Know you sad about it. Know you sad about it. Know you sad about it.
Time to bring the bass bird.
Swear I'm going big like a lineman. She want bring the limes in. She wanna pull up to the crib, we can't dine in. Up right away, couldn't even get a vine in. Straight with the money we aligned in. Tell me how they broke, tryna chime in. Jesus watching over here in diamonds. He the only reason why I do not get violent. Ay, cause he gave me patience. Ay, swear that all makes sense. Ay, when you making bands can make fans. Cause I know they tryna shit like Ray Bans. Got a bad little shorty wasting. And I own it, I ain't gotta pay rent. Hey, I know we the ones that ain't them. Move our hands together and I'm saying amen. Cause I
First opened in 2002, there's a look inside Ford Field here in downtown Detroit, the Motor City. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the San Francisco 49ers and the Detroit Lions. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. They'll run for the first time with Johnson. And an early how do you do right there as they're going to bury him in the backfield. It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. Second down.
Second and 11 at the 19-yard line.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a second and 11.
Push him back. Push him back. Joker, 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 Joker.
Johnson on the counter. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. This will be a loss of 3 and now a much tougher third down looming. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now third and long.
56, the mic, boys. 56. Check 56. All day.
They'll look to throw. Throwing deep for Galladay. Oh, he almost picked it. Nearly a turnover there on their opening drive. And that's a throw he'd like to have back. Now fourth down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice, getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Good work, boys. Let's go. Let's go.
They're on the 33-yard line.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. On play action, they'll throw. Oh, he's going to air it out right away. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on 1st down, but he couldn't reel it in.
But when you're going up against a talented receiver like that, you just know that they're going to bring more people to him, right? They're going to double cover him every chance they get.
And I think that is what we're going to see all game long, an early taste of that double, maybe even sometimes triple coverage we might see.
Yeah, I think what they're counting on, his talent to sometimes beat that double coverage.
Touchdown, 49ers! Matt Breida, his 5th touchdown now on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turned into his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And they'll certainly be trying to do better than that first drive where they went 3 and out.
And sometimes the first drive is just simply to settle nerves. You know what it's like at the start of a game with the emotion. Guys a little bit jumpy.
But you do.
Oh, you understand the same way. It's just like us calling one, right? Making sure we ease into the game, let it come to us.
Well, you went 3 and out.
And now they have that opportunity.
No, you didn't go 3 and out. I went 3 and out on that first drive. I'll try to do better here. Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
That would have been a great catch, but it was real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22. 2nd and 10. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked by Tarvarius Moore. And the return will stop right around the 25.
The good old cover 3 defense, partner. When you start playing football as a safety, that's the first thing you're taught. Middle of the field, be as deep as the deepest receiver in any zone, and break on the football when it's thrown and pick it off, just as we saw there.
They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. So he can't hang on, and as I watched that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Well, you know a coach said that, right? Yeah. Not an actual player.
And across the chalk, into the end zone, it's a 49er touchdown. George Kittle, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Niners are able to stretch their lead. Harkey adds the extra point, and it's now 14-0. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
The Lions take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams...
No, bottled up. Fumble. It's out. It's loose.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Check, crunch. Check, nickel.
Here we go on 2nd and 12. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by DJ Reed. And he is going to get this one back to the 20-yard line. First quarter, and now he already has 2 interceptions.
Yeah, he's got to guard against being tentative from this point forward, though. He's got to still make the right reads, make the proper throws, I've seen guys in this league throw 4 interceptions in a game and win. He's got to understand, put it behind you, keep pressing forward.
Under pressure, and he'll go down. Sacked back at the 31. Well, let's see here, Charles. He was sacked 6 times last week. Now a first-quarter sack. What's going on in his mind? Well, he's thinking to himself, 5 offensive linemen. I got sacked 6 times last week. Let's start thinking about keeping extra people in. Tight end stays in. If I have a fullback or the running back, they stay in and help me block. Maybe not as many receivers in a pattern. Anything to try and slow down that pass rush. Now, meanwhile, here's a second down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. He was trying to get it to George Kittle, his tight end, and it's third down.
Ready. 60 outlaw. 5. 59. Get it.
He'll drop to throw. And that is incomplete. Now Cody Parkey out to try the field goal. On the left hash, this from 48 yards. And this one is right down Broadway. And the lead will grow. It's now 17-0. So a good snap, good hold, and right down the middle. Never in doubt. Just the way you used to hit them, partner. You mean like kicking the ball? Exactly. Well, that was in high school. Doesn't matter. I don't care what level. You hit them, they go through. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window? I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all. Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6.
I got one. You go take. You got time. Check 13. Check 13. Showing it. 49. Check 49. Check 49. Slam. Undercrunch.
Now Johnson takes it to the 26, just a 1-yard gain. Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy. He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. Out of the gun now on third down. And here's another interception, the third of this first quarter. Picked off by Quan Alexander. And it's a terrific return here as he's going to have them set up with a 1st and goal right at about the 6-yard line. That's now his 2nd interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position. And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great eyes, head on a swivel, and excellent hands. Yeah, versatility and showing those hands. So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal.
Let's pick it up. It's out of time, guys. Out of time. Let's get off the field. Hey, Haywood. Mike, check. 59.
2nd and 3. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there. Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right? It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
Hey, zoom. Mike 9. Watch the pass. Now. Hey, echo.
Now back to throw. And he hauls it in the end zone. Touchdown, San Francisco. from 3 yards out. And the Niners are able to stretch their lead. Now, first quarter, and this lead is already getting into dangerous territory. They better be careful on the other sideline.
Yeah, it feels a little bit more like a basketball game where one team is pressing and that team can't get the ball over half court. I mean, it is stealing it and scoring it, layups, the whole deal. That's what it feels like right now. They are all over them.
And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
The Lions take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. Typically down to the first half, I might say, oh, you at least need a field goal out of this drive, but they're down to the point where they need a touchdown, don't they?
Yeah, normally, you know me. I mean, you've been around me for a while now, right?
Unfortunately.
I'm sorry about that. But normally, I'm the one preaching patience.
Yeah.
You know, take your time, first half, you still got a chance. I think they're out of patience here. This has to be a drive that gets a touchdown. So if you're the play caller, you're going to that portion of the sheet that says big-time plays, specials, anything you can use to get yourself back into it.
Johnson. And, boy, this defense, again, really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. He'll get this one to Galladay.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It's way too tight. Unable to find anyone open.
Here's Logan Cook now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. Out of bounds and close. The question, was it a touchback? No. They'll say it crossed out at the 2-yard line. Excellent placement, and off that bounce, Charles, I didn't know where it was going to go. It can be an inexact science as to where they place it, but they say the 2-yard line.
Yeah, I don't know how they really determined that. And let's face it, at the end of that play, one side's going to be happy, the other team's going to be unhappy. So, what they do, shorten the hypotenuse? I mean, how do they figure that out? You know that stuff. You're the smart guy.
No, that's you, partner.
Hey, Alpha. Mike, check, 59. Yeah, let's go. Go. Bravo! Ready?
Back to throw now in his own end zone. This one taken in by the former Baylor Bear, Jalen Hurd. And this one will be taken up. They'll spot it right at the 7. 5 yards on the catch there. Brings up 2nd down.
2nd and 5 at the 7-yard line.
An entertaining start to this one. More to come on EA Sports. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down.
Watch the slack.
Second and 5. Completes it to the tight end, Kittle. And they'll get him down up past the 15. The Niners have the 1st down on a gain of 11. Thanks to that last play, a little more room to operate. 1st and 10 at the 18.
Hey, Charlie.
They'll set up a throw. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. So, flag for the contact, pass interference.
And I know that you're going to look at me and roll your eyes, and rightfully so, because you know what I'm going to say. Doesn't the defender have a right to the football as well?
No, I don't like defenders. And it's complete. In the end zone, touchdown 49ers. In for the score as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. Parkey with the extra point, and the rout is on here in this 1st half. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
Fair catch made at the 25-yard line. The Lions take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
The 31-yard line.
Now this time he'll look to throw. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, help force the incompletion.
Yeah, but had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete.
56 the mic, boys. 56. Check 56. Switch out and go.
He'll look to throw. Airing it out for Hamilton. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
It's always a goal, and it's really nice defensively when you can rally to the football and make sure there's enough contact to force an incompletion.
Force an incompletion and force another punt.
The Niners take over 1st and 10 at their own 33-yard line.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. They are clicking on all cylinders. They seem to be just scoring at will right now, and that's why they've opened up this big lead.
Now, we always talk about getting into the zone, and all athletes are seeking that, aren't they? Where everything is working for them. Every move they make works. It clicks, and they are on point right now.
Yeah, they are in that zone that you're talking about. Once again, they run with Breida on 1st down. And this will leave them a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Running out of the gun here, Breida. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. That one, a 1st down pickup of 8.
Boy, where would these guys be without his performance on the ground? That puts him over 100 yards now for the afternoon, and I tell you, he seems to be getting stronger as the day goes along.
Mike, sit.
They go play action here on 1st down. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And he hauls it in the end zone. Touchdown, San Francisco. As his guys are in for 6. As his guys continue to pour it on. Parkey adds the extra point. And the route is on here in this first half. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And still no points on the scoreboard. You're coming off of the 3 and out. They're just looking for anything to grab onto right now, aren't they?
I'm wondering if someone's going to take charge in the huddle. You know, we always look to the quarterback, but sometimes it's another player on the team, a star, a veteran, someone with some excitement and energy. It's like, all right, guys, let's shake things up and let's go, because they still have an opportunity to make things happen.
Shake it off. On the ground, this is Johnson. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and they're going to have a 3rd down.
56. Too little, cupcake.
Looking to throw. And that is incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
The Niners take over 1st
49er offense set to get this drive underway. They are just putting things together so well here, drive after drive. They really have captured the momentum, haven't they?
They've taken momentum and pretty much not just given him a jersey, but a seat on the bench as well. Whatever do you need, you've got it, because the way they're stringing things together and creating that distance between them and their opponent, it's really hard to narrow that gap. And the other part is they're taking their spirit away from them, too.
Yeah, now they're just looking to add to that total. They'll run on first down. Richardson. A short gain of just over 2 yards as the first half clock dips inside of 3 minutes.
Well, we saw them there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Go. Don't let him breathe, defense. Check 59, Mike. Mike is 59. Mike to 59. Let's go.
Here's 2nd and 8. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
Fans do love the long ball, don't they? And he already found his guy once. Tried to give him another chance there, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. Couldn't connect, but as you alluded to, he does have that touchdown from earlier, trying to keep him in the rhythm. So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. He'll look to throw. Open man is heard. It's complete. And it's going to be another first down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 43.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Now a throw left sideline here is complete. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete. He was looking that time for Dante Pettis, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
Here we go. 10-2 stop. Right here. Right. He's done right here. Now.
On 2nd down, a run with Breida. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. 9 yards on the pickup there as they'll be left with 3rd and 1.
A 9-yard gain on the play. And it's 3rd down.
This will be play number 8 here on the drive. It's 3rd and a yard. Back to throw here. And able to haul it in is Kittle. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. 14 yards through the air. Caught the D off guard on 3rd and 1. A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on 1st and goal.
Hey, Mike's 50. Hey, let's get some penetration here. Let's get some penetration. Hey. That's mine. I got him. Hey, Delta. Mike 50, go.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up 2nd down.
Line of scrimmage, again the 4-yard line. 2nd and goal.
We want it. Come get it.
2nd and 4. And that's incomplete. Not sure what happened out there, but it looked like the timing was a little off on that throw.
Well, you know I'm a defender, so what am I going to say?
Great defense.
And darn right, they did something to disrupt that timing.
They'll look to throw here. And it's complete. In the end zone, touchdown 49ers. From 4 yards out, as his guys continue to put this one out of reach.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that could finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. Parkey with the extra point, and the route is on here in this first half. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
So we've reached halftime here in what is quickly turning into quite a rout as we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach, it's the 49ers out in front, and they will get the football first as well as we are back and started in the second half.
Get ready, get ready, get ready.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. They had a big first half. Now they have a chance to add to that lead here in the opening possession of the second half.
And everyone always asks about halftime adjustment.
And that's caught inside the 35. Touchdown, 49ers. Dante Pettis, his third touchdown now on the year as his guys continue to pour it on. Not a whole lot to recap on that drive. Just one play, 75 yards to the house.
Yeah, it's a long way to go. And remember, rarely is it a straight line 75 yards, too. Got to have a little extra in there. So whatever the final number is, a well-deserved seat on the bench, a little oxygen if he wants it as well.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
The Lions take over 1st and 10. at their own 25-yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. Now this throw caught left side. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains. The first down carry here for Johnson. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Now a 10th carry for Johnson. And he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down. So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it is going to be 15 yards.
So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. First and 10. Following the penalty, it's Johnson. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down. With that last effort, he topples the 5,000-yard mark for his career.
And that doesn't place you among the absolute greats that have ever played the game, but it's a significant achievement and a very, very solid career.
They'll run it with Johnson, and he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. 7 yards there and a first down.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. First and 10. They're going to look to throw. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off at the 20, weaving through traffic, and now he's free. And they will score. It's a 49er touchdown. This D wanting to put it away before we even get to the 4th quarter, widening that margin a bit further.
And while they won't just empty the bench just yet, if you're a backup, start loosening up. I think you'll get a chance to play before this one is over now with that type of a cushion.
Parkey adds the extra point, and that will extend this big lead. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he'd taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And following the pick six, and they have decent field position in throwing that pick six. We'll see how they attack this drive.
And I think all you say to your guy is, listen, let's just take care of the football a little bit better. Make some better decisions on this drive, and they'll probably help him a little bit with maybe some really high percentage throws early to let him get settled back in.
But they told him, and they told us, they've got confidence. That's not a problem.
Yeah, not a problem at all. They just want to make sure they get things settled down a little bit for their offense and give their defense a little bit of a chance to rest.
They stay on the ground. This time it's Johnson. He'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 23.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. They just do get the play off as he'll look to throw. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Morgan. 11 yards there and a Lion first down.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation. I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
You got nothing with it. You got nothing. Check. Wait.
Second and 6. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Nick Bosa able to drop him for a loss of a couple. And on that one, the protection just broke down.
You've got to have that leverage, don't you? We always talk about low man wins in the running game for an offensive lineman versus a defensive lineman. It's essentially the same thing in pass protection. Get lower than that defensive lineman so that you can keep your balance and keep him away from your guy trying to throw the football.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. Here's Logan Cook now as he's on for the 5th time here today. This is away and a very good kick, angled for the sidelines. And this is going to be ruled out, I think, just inside the 20. Yes, it will. Side judge calls it at the 19-yard line. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. With this lead and the football, things obviously looking good, but maybe, you've taught me this before, maybe this is where the defense is hoping that the offense helps them preserve that shutout that they've... And nothing but daylight ahead. And finally out of bounds, just a few yards short of the goal line at the 3. A big play there for the Niners. 78 yards. And what can they do here on 2nd and goal? 3 red zone trips so far have yielded 2 touchdowns and a field goal. And they will take a knee here.
It's a loss of 1. Brings up 2nd and goal at the 4-yard line.
From back at the 4, here's 2nd and goal.
You better bring it.
And they take a knee.
The quarterback keeps it.
A big play to start the drive got him in this position, but this defense has held firm since, and now it's 3rd and goal. And they'll indeed take a knee.
On the keeper. A loss of a yard. Brings up 4th down and goal.
So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. From the right hash, and this one just a chippy. And the 10-year vet knocks it through the goalpost. And they're sitting pretty now as the lead grows even further. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
A good run got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3.
Here we go.
Again, it's Johnson. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, that's almost a tendency breaker.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. And now he'll tuck it and run. And he's got a 1st down and then some at midfield. And all the way down to the 41-yard line. An excellent run of 22 yards on the keeper and also a 1st down. So from inside Niner territory now, this is 1st and 10 at the 41. Here's Johnson. He's been busy this afternoon. And he'll just get back to the line of scrimmage, if that. And with a flag on the field. And that one looks to be in the area where someone was held. They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. On play action, they'll throw. Throwing deep for Galladay. And now here is another interception. Picked up by Jonathan Jones. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Got it.
Tighten up. Pull it together.
On the handoff, they start with Richardson. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. Second down. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10.
Check.
On the ground, here's Richardson again. And he's going to get this from the 6 out to the 12. A pickup of 6 as they double their workspace. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's 49er football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. On 3rd down, it's Richardson. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave him with a 4th down. Here comes the 49ers punter now. Always a good sign when your first punt comes in the fourth quarter. And taken right on the 30. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And the Lions will take over. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. On 2nd down, Johnson. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down. Another example of just a dominant performance by this defense.
Yeah, you hear all the time about teams that try to steal signals from the other side and try and learn their signs and their tendencies. It's almost like they get the answers to the exam the night before and were well prepared for this final.
Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete. So the victory here for San Francisco. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible.
Yeah, offense was in fine form. The defense threw the shutout at them. I think they worked in concert together. What I like about the offense was they held the ball pretty well. You know, time of possession, exactly what they were looking for in this one. And that helped out their defense. Didn't have to be out there the entire time. So when you do that and you're out there fresh playing, off a little extra spring in your step, and it showed up in this one.
They had a ton of spring in their step. Impressive victory. So for San Francisco, they boost their record up to a strong 4-1, and they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for Detroit, they'll fall to 1-4 with a loss, and they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.